What's up guys, and welcome to another video. If like me, you want to be better off and more successful, then this video is for you. Here I'll expose why keeping all of your money in a savings account makes absolutely no sense at all, and offer 3 alternatives which will benefit you more. But why should you listen to me? Well, I've had a career in digital media spanning over 20 years, where I've owned properties in Spain and across the UK. I've also earned 6-figure salaries, so I'm well placed to offer some advice which is always 100% unbiased, honest from what I truly believe in, and most importantly isn't endorsed or sponsored by any organisation. All I want to do is help as many people as I possibly can. If you have 1,000 in savings, 5,000, 20,000, or even 50 or 100k upwards, then this video is relevant to you. Sounds good? Right, let's get into it. We are all being misled when it comes to savings. Society tells us that savings are important, and they are, but we're often not informed of the downsides of savings accounts. Banks offer interest on savings accounts, which sounds like they're helping to grow our money, but think again. With inflation soaring and banks offering tiny, minuscule interest rates, your savings are rapidly losing value. £20,000 a few years ago will go so much further than exactly the same £20,000 today. Banks are extremely happy to take your money in the forms of savings accounts so that they can take your money and go and invest it themselves. Now, as a rule of thumb, financial experts tend to recommend that you keep around 3 to 6 months of salary set aside so that you can access it easily. But what everyone tends to do is just continue to add to it, meaning that you're not actually in a position where your money is working for you. Listen up and let's see what millionaires do instead. Stocks are one way to invest. However, for someone with little to no knowledge in companies and share dealing, this can be an absolute minefield, and will actually borderline on gambling, because you're placing trades and essentially hoping for the best, which is never going to be a good place to be. A much better, lower risk alternative is investing in what's called mutual funds, otherwise known as index funds. Now, these allow you to own a share in hundreds of companies all at once. So instead of putting all of your risk into a single company, that risk is spread. The fund is fully managed by experts who are constantly adjusting the exposure to different companies, ensuring that investors in the fund, i.e. you, are getting the best returns. If a company begins to perform badly, then they will reduce the exposure to them and maybe even drop them from the fund completely. These funds are absolutely gigantic, and I mean massive. For example, one of the funds that I recently invested in has over £12 billion, but some are even higher. Now that's a lot of people's money being managed and growing over time. So how do you get started in mutual fund investing? Well, all you need to do is open a investment savings account, an ISA, with one of the popular providers. Have a look at the funds available, add your money, and then place your investments. You can then log in whenever you like to see how it's performing. It's super quick and super easy to set up. Now this, my friends, is how the rich continue to get richer. Another great way to use savings is to pay off any debt that you may have. Now, I know this may sound boring, and it's super tempting to avoid that credit card or loan balance when you're considering your finances, but if you're looking for a completely risk-free, tax-free, guaranteed rate of return, then this has to be one of the most important things that you should do. Otherwise, your debt will remain rumbling on and you will just end up paying more in the long run to clear it. Doing this will truly be one of the biggest steps you've ever taken to financial freedom. Now, anything above 6% interest is classed as high interest debt. So get it clear, people. You'll feel great when it's fully under control and you can properly move forwards. If you have a large debt or multiple debts, try a technique called snowballing, which is where you start with the smallest debt first, get it paid, and then move to the next until they're all cleared. This will give you a great sense of accomplishment through small incremental gains and set you on the right path whilst keeping you focused. Try it, you'll be surprised how well it works. Now this final one may sound a little bit strange, but collectibles are often a surprisingly good investment. Items such as vintage cars, handcrafted luggage or handbags, and high quality rare artwork can be wonderful investments. Watches would fall under this asset class too. Now, investing in cars can be full of risks and you really need to know what you're doing. So watches may be a little bit more realistic for your average investor as they're really simple to move and there's plenty of guidance out there in terms of what's growing in value and what isn't. Rolexes are generally a great purchase. They're a safe bet as they're highly durable, they're well crafted, and they're from a brand which has maintained an incredibly high reputation for many years. You can pick these up for a few £1,000s, keep them for a year or two, and then look to sell them on. The best bit is there's loads of great used watch dealerships around that you can work with, or you can just look for an independent sale yourself. So there we have it, 3 great alternative ways to make the most of your money outside of that limiting savings account of yours. Now, it can feel a little bit daunting moving money out of savings, but once it's done and growing in value, you'll be happy knowing that you're actually beating inflation for a change. If you're looking to learn more about investing, then I'd recommend a book called Stocks and Investing for Beginners. I'll add a link to the book in the description. It will be the best 15 quid that you have ever spent. I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about managing money with me. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.